Hello everyone and welcome to another I Pick My Butt video. Today we're going to be going over the tier list for heroes, armor, rings, spirit bracelet, lockets, even weapons for both regular and co-op mode, and of course the books too. Just going through the best. We're not going to actually be going through the in-depth of what each individual one does, but just what is the best one out there currently at 1.4.7, the most up-to-date version of the game right now. Now, this tier list did come from Laymoutique's Discord channel and the community behind it, and I gotta say, I pretty much just agree with all of it there. I think Helix should be on top, but we'll get into that in a second here. And as far as everything that's over here on this side of the screen, we're using a little bit of a lonely screen type thing, not a plug at all, but it does make it a little bit kind of foggy and so on. So, like I said, may not be the most exciting video you ever see one of mine, but if you want to know what is best meta current in the game, we're going to be going over it right now. So first things first, the tier list of heroes, and just for anybody that doesn't know, the S, consider that as super, and then just learn the alphabet from there. Obviously, like school, if you get lower the letter, the worse you're doing. So good old Atreus there in E is not a good thing at all. But you can see that Shade at 1899 is the best, tied with Sylvan, which given between the two, you know, there's a lot of people saying Shade or Sylvan, Shade or Sylvan. I honestly probably stick with Sylvan myself. I'm something about it. I just like it. Even though I don't have him, just from appearance look, Sylvan, he's got the hair. Now going on to the next, which like I said, this is the one thing I probably disagree with. Helix is always top of mind. Once again, I said it before, very attractive looking hero. But there he is there, and he is tied with good old Owner, and Owner has a, let you finish that one again. Moving on to the B class, we got Rolla. We have, wait a second, Meowjic. Meowjic is lower than Helix? Are you grasping this right now? I know a lot of people, everybody, you might want to sit down for this. Yes, Helix is better than Meowjic. I'll just say it. Feel free to leave a comment below if you disagree with that. But you see it there, and then actually on the same level, which is kind of surprising, Thorin. Would you ever expect Meowjic, Thorin, and Rolla to be in the same category? Well, that's where they're rating it at. And really, anything that's not S-class or A-class, does it really matter? I don't know. Maybe Meowjic should be up there in the A-class too, but like I said, this is the general consensus of what everybody is saying out there. Hopefully I said that word right. I'm sure you guys will let me know. Moving on to the C class, you see him there is Tyrannus, however you want to say it once again. And we have good old Bonnie, which just seems like a hero that came and gone, and nobody's ever talking about him. But let's not forget about the free hero there, the next one down, which would be Sherry. And Sherry's just about as good as Uracil, so there's that. And last but not least, we said it before there, Atreus with no special abilities. Maybe that's something they should kind of consider in the game. Everybody else has a buff and so on. Why not give Atreus an actual level 20, 40, 60, and 80 buff to us there? It only makes sense. So we're just going to leave this up here so you guys can know your S, A's, and B classes, other things. But going on to armors, yes, Phantom Cloak right up here. That's one of the best, tied with Vest of Dexterity. Nobody's really using any of the other ones unless you don't have these at a high enough rarity. Now, I did try switching to the Vest of Dexterity in Chapter 14. Didn't really pay off too well, so that's why you see me still rocking the good old Phantom Cloak there. And the other two armors, not really even sure what they're called anymore. Golden Chestplate, that's what our A class is. If you don't have either of those two major ones, stick to that. And last but not least, slowly leveling up here for the events, the Void Robe. And those are going to be your armors. Moving on to the rings, I would probably say that, I don't know, I'm saying the Lion Ring is the best there out of them all. I haven't really used the Bull Ring too much, but this is what we're saying here. S-Class, Lion Ring for one, and for second, where is it here? There is the Bull Ring itself. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Lion Ring itself because of that attack plus 5%. But the Bull Ring, what do we get? Coins from battle. Coins from battle. Okay, moving on to the next ones there. We have the good old Wolf Ring for A class, which is pretty decent with the damage to melee and that crit chances everybody's hoping for. But the other one, we've all done it, double Serpent Rings with that Vest of Dexterity. There you go. That's what's sitting at A class for that. And the losers of the rings, we have the Falcon Ring. Oh, let's show you the 51. Level 50 Falcon Ring. Yes, I level them up. I like to. And last but not least, everybody's favorite, we're getting tons of them inside those chests, the Bear Ring. It's cute looking at least. And moving on to the spirits or pets, whatever you like to call them, you can see up top, and I finally have two of them at Perfect Epic, the Laser Bat, which is just total awesome. You can't go wrong with anything but the Laser Bat. And as far as the other ones below that, what we got? The Elf. I actually thought the Elf was probably one of the worst ones in the game when I first started. There's some fake news for you back in the day if you've seen that video. Just never really liked the Elf. Just always seemed like the other ones were better, but later did we find out that Elf really isn't too bad. And the losers of this one, the Scythe Mage and the good old everybody's Living Bomb. You probably saw me running both of those for such a long time because I had them at a higher rarity and level than everything else. But yes, I level them all up. A lot of people say, don't level up your rings, don't level up your spirits. I've got the coins, I've got the scrolls, I'm going to level them up. And when I go and fuse them into Ancient Legendaries, I'll get them back then. So it's not really a lose for me. Now here's something I didn't think about. I tried to stretch that over so you could see it, and I didn't have enough room on the screen. Now I probably could have posted another image, blocked out the SAMB on that so you could still see it on the left, and then move this picture over to it, but I'm too lazy. So this is what you're going to get. Yes, if you haven't found that out by now, I am a very, very lazy person. And if you agree with that, give me a thumbs up because I'm lazy. And I don't have any other excuses besides that. But moving on to the bracelets here, let's see what we have. We have S tier, we have the Frozen Bracelet. And that's just about all I ever use except for playing Chapter 11. But let's face it, am I ever really going to go back and play Chapter 11? Probably not unless they come out with a hero mode or something different. But I leave it on all the time. Those little ghost guys that appear and disappear, they're a pain. Not good for the Frozen Bracelet. But moving on to the other ones, do I even have them? Yes, I do. Blazing Bracelet, that's going to be at the A class on it. And that's going to be tied with the Thunder Bracelet. And the one that nobody ever apparently uses, although I have it at level 2, that is going to be the Split Bracelet. And it summons the one copy. I don't know. I'm not using it. Now moving on to the Lockets, if you're not using it, which is my favorite, the good old Angel Locket. This thing saved me a ton of times. You can check out the video. There was one I had 5 lives in a single run because of this thing and some other lucky things that happened to me. But probably the best one in my mind, I would put it on its own tier. But of course, if you can get it to Legendary, we also have the Agile Locket, which that is going to give a pretty decent dodge when the time comes and you get it up there. You can see we're already at 15% on that one. So another good one to have. What is next after that? That is going to be the Bulletproof Locket. Is that the one with the weird text on it? It was kind of worded all wrong when they first came out. But that's going to be your A class. And then last but not least, I actually have it at Perfect Epic. Look at that. It's the only one I have at Perfect Epic. That's probably why I haven't switched over because it's the worst. The Iron Locket. So there is the last one for that. Moving on to the weapons we have for solo and co-op. Solo obviously being your regular chapters like you played. Co-op is duo hero mode. And we at the top of the list, we have Stalker Staff. You saw me beat Chapter 14 with it. And I really wish I had this leveled up more. I missed one of the battle passes. But the Bright Spear itself, another great weapon too. Moving on to the next one, the weapon I never use because it's just too slow for me, but everybody else loves, is the Death Scythe. And pair that up with my Ancient Legendary Bow. So there is those. And you did see me eventually, I fused my Tornadoes to get that bow there. And where are we at on Tornado? Oh, we do have one at Epic right now. So there is that. Last but not least, we have the Saw Blade itself. Now there is another weapon I'm going to explain here after we go over the co-op ones, which nobody's ever talking about it, but it's probably one of the craziest weapons to ever use in the game. Little ancient Chinese secret for you. But moving on to the co-op, obviously these are going to be based by speed themselves, Saw Blade being the top, along with that bow. And if you see my video, play whatever you like, but this is what people are deciding are the best on it. We have at the A class, we have the Tornado, and we have that Bright Spear, and the slow dogs, the losers of it all, the Staff, and the Death Scythe. Now, if you guys want a 7th weapon, sit down, take your weapon, unequip it. It doesn't look like you have it, but you're actually throwing rocks. The rock is an amazing thing to play with if you ever get the chance. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Post in the comments how well that rock did for you. And last but not least, we have the books, and we got a little bit of notes here for you too on it. But at the top of the list for these books, which I still don't have leveled up good enough, we have the Art of Combat, and we have the good old Enlightenment. And if you don't know which of these two to choose from, want to know my opinion on which one's the best, just click back and watch that art video I made the other day on it. We'll just, kind of tease you with another one. But those are the top ones right there. As far as the books that come after it, do I even have them all? Yes, we do. Arcane Archer, and we also have the Ice Realm. So the notes on here are Art of Combat is the strongest book above PE, especially with Shade, but that means it's more meant for P2P. Enlightenment is a very strong book. It allows you to roll god tier abilities and save your run, but it's more RNG based. And the Arcane is also a powerful book, but mess a little bit with the stutter step, making it less powerful than the other two. So there you have it, guys. That is the list of everything out there right now for the tier list on it. This does not include abilities. This is just the gear that you're going to be setting up. So let me know how that rock's working for you. Let me know which of these things you would rearrange and move. What's wrong? What's right? Either way, I want to know. Post in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and remember, I pick my butt.